The Crane Goldsmith Dickinson Center for Multiple Sclerosis at Mount Sinai opened and saw its first patient in December of 2001.
Fred and I had a bet as to whether the physical space down here on the first floor of 5 East 98th Street was going to be ready by my arrival. And by a narrow margin, he won the bottle of champagne.
Really, the center wasn't completely ready, but it was ready enough that we were able to see one patient in December of 2001. And so we did. But 2002 is when we went into full operation with the bottle of wine. The MS Center concept, as laid out by our founders, Clifford Goldsmith and George Gillespie, was to provide comprehensive care for all patients, giving them as much time and resources as they needed to deal with this complicated disease.
When my sister was very ill with multiple sclerosis, that wasn't available. And they wanted to start a center that would really be the premier center in giving patients the very best in patient care.
Well, the center started with myself and my nurse practitioner, Eliza Ben-Zachariah, Dr. Aaron Miller, at that time part-time. And since then, we've grown to now have 10 clinicians, anywhere from 4 to 5 fellows at any given time, social workers, plus our administrative staff, our basic science researchers. So now we're a big operation with over 7,500 patient visits a year.
In 20 years, I think the thing that I'm most proud of, other than the care that we've offered to patients, has been the training of young neurologists who are really interested in MS.
We train fellows. These are neurologists who have completed a neurology residency and then spend usually about 2 years with us in an MS fellowship, learning the nuances and the complexity of treating patients with multiple sclerosis.
I knew when I came here as a fellow, I would not get better training anywhere else, really, in the country or the world.
Learning from Dr. Lublin and Dr. Miller was just watching the masters at work. They really helped me quite a bit in terms of not just emulating their style, but helping support me in forming my own style.
There's nobody in the world that knows more about MS than those two, and that's why our patients are getting such great care.
Philanthropy is critical to our existence. The type of care that we're giving and the way we were founded, which was to give all the care that patients need, independent of cost, is not covered by the usual mechanisms of insurance and things like that.
We had tremendous support from the primary philanthropists who led to the establishment of this center, Clifford Goldsmith and George Gillespie. Clifford was very, very hands-on, and one of my fondest memories are the periodic luncheon dates that I had with Clifford to talk about what was going on in the center. Sadly, both of those benefactors have passed on, but we're graced by the continued involvement of the entire Goldsmith family.
We've chosen to stay involved for a number of reasons. The prime reason now has to do with continuing something that our family established many years ago, in particular my husband.
It makes it that much more important for us to carry on what was important to him.
I remember exactly how the first gala came together. My father was really excited about throwing a big party for the center and trying to do something really different that wasn't like all the other fundraisers out there. So he wanted to have a dance party, and we were able to do it at Studio 54.
It was a lot of fun, and it had never really been done before in that way.
One of the real purposes of the gala is the educational segment, where people are brought up to date on the new developments with MS and learn about not only what the disease is, but what the new treatments are.
The C. Olson Wellness Program is a place where we deliver holistic care to people living with MS. It's very difficult to make recommendations to people saying, go ahead and change your diet. you really need an exercise program, but to not actually give a way for people to achieve all of those things. And so when someone comes into the wellness program, we have a visit with the nurse practitioner, the dietitian, the physical therapist, and the social worker, all kind of rolled into one session where people get individual recommendations. And we hope that over time to be able to help people implement those recommendations so that they can really live their best lives.
I found out I had MS in February of 2019. It really was one of my worst fears coming true when I found that out.
I was officially diagnosed in 2005, and as a guitarist, finding out I had MS was pretty terrifying. Fortunately for me, it was mostly just vision issues, so I wasn't panicking so much about the playing as much as I was just panicking about everything falling apart.
When I first started seeing Dr. Krieger, I was at the beginning of learning about my diagnosis. I had a lot of questions, and it's pretty hard to explain the immune system, but he did an incredibly good job of telling me how each medication was actually going to function in my body.
I've been working with Dr. Miller for 17 years. He knows so much about MS, and because I can ask him all sorts of questions and he answers them so clearly, he helps me stay calm about this whole thing.
Okay, take your index finger and touch my finger.
I hardly know how to answer the question of how the MS Center has impacted me, because when it comes to dealing with the MS, it's like, it's just been totally my lifeline.
It's a lovely place. I bring them Christmas cookies every year.
We are so honored and pleased that this year Montel Williams is the recipient of the Clifford H. Goldsmith Award. I think everybody was very excited to consider him for this award, given the impact that he's made in the MS community. It really is interesting. Almost every day, patients in my office will talk about the inspiration that he is to them, not knowing, of course, that he's a patient here at the center as well.
When I was first diagnosed with MS, I will tell you, I wanted to hide away in a little closet and not share my diagnosis with anyone. And then I realized that I could be, in some ways, at least a face that people could put to the disease. I alone own the definition of who I am. I own the definition before I was diagnosed with MS, and I own the definition of who I am with MS, not anybody else. And so I held a press conference and reported that to the world. It wasn't until I stepped up to that podium that I realized how significant my revelation would be to the public. Because up to this point, just like myself, I didn't even know what MS was. And so that started me on a journey around the world to see if I could get the best information I could get to give me at least enough of a blueprint of what I thought I needed to do to see if I could not hold this disease at bay, but at least be able to cope with it no matter what the disease threw at me.
Montel Williams has been my patient for about 5 years. He's always trying to be healthier, do more. Really, he's a role model for all MS patients.
And I had the ability to see a lot of different doctors in a lot of different places around the world. But when I finally met Dr. Fabian, I found a home. She has been one that has not pushed me to, but allowed me to thrive rather than succumb.
To run a center like this, to be able to provide optimal care for people with MS, to make advances in the therapeutics of MS, it really takes a fantastic staff.
The clinicians and the nursing staff and the administrative staff and the fellows, this is just a wonderful group of people who understand the mission and employ it.
This is truly a place where people work together, support each other, and everyone is really in it together for the shared goals.
I think reflecting on 20 years, the center is far beyond where Clifford Goldsmith and George Gillespie imagined it would be.
Congratulations, Mount Sinai, on 20 years.
Congratulations to the Corinne Goldsmith Dickinson Center for MS on 20 years of providing amazing care for patients like me.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, CGD Center, on 20 years of amazing patient care, dedication, and trailblazing efforts in the fight against MS.
Thank you for your commitment to supporting patients like me with multiple sclerosis.
Congratulations.
Mount Sinai, congratulations on 20 years of leading the way when it comes to research and helping people understand that they have a tomorrow.